and welcome to the Gaia update for Chinese New Year, Year of the Yin Earth Pig 2019. I'm Adrienne Elise. So Chinese New Year starts the day after the second new moon of the year. And so that is on February 5th, 2019. That's when we really move into the new energies of this year. So we're at a place of a new beginning. We've had a really intense 2018. We're ready to move into something new. And yet the year of the pig is the last year in the zodiac, in the Chinese zodiac, which is a 12-year cycle. So actually 2019 is actually more of a completion year, even though we're preparing to move into something very big. We've all heard about the intense astrology of 2020, where Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto all come together with the South Node in Capricorn. It's epic, it's extremely rare, and it's the cosmos telling us that the hammer's coming down. Our reality needs to change, and we kind of need to face the music and show up. So 2019 we're running out of time. It's like we got to prepare, right? We're so had our heads who knows where, during 2018 with all that retrograde energy and all this assimilating and trying to adjust and just not being able to really feel like you're going anywhere. Now, this is going to continue a little bit in 2019, but we also have some really good energy coming in around starting to see some benefit of the hard work that you've done with Saturn in Capricorn and Uranus landing in Taurus, in the earth sign of Taurus. So the year of the pig is where we are kind of gathering up everything we've done and learned over this last 12 years, maybe over many lifetimes, to prepare for this 2020 astrology and be ready. But things are starting to shift energetically, especially if you're willing to do the work and willing to show up and be aware and stay present through what's happening. So let's talk about the energies of the year of the pig. The year of the pig has a theme that is about happiness and prosperity. Okay, so the pig is abundant. One pig can feed like a whole village, right? One big pig. And so the pig represents plenty, right? And more of things. It's interesting that it falls in the alignment here of Uranus moving into Taurus, because there's a lot of similar energies between Taurus and the year of the pig. So because it's the end of the cycle, it has a lot of energy of reflection of the past 11 years, as well as like harvesting, right? The good things and having things start to land and pay off. We really need this energy right now. This is really good for us. The fact that it's an earth pig means that that's the physical manifested reality. So this means that the abundance, the happiness, and the prosperity that wants to come in the year of the pig is going to come in real material ways. Okay. Now the pig has an energy of generosity, and it's like it wants to give. There's an energy of charity. So there's a danger if you're already that type of person, you could overgive and overstretch your resources. Or like the sign of Taurus, you could not be conscious of how much you're spending and overspend or over celebrate or over anything, right? But all in all, this energy is really good for us right now. It's good for the economy. It's good for real estate. And it is bringing forward this energy of charity, of wanting to give and exchange, and the power that comes in exchanging. See, we're kind of trapped in this thinking that the power of money comes when we stack it up, right? The more we have. But actually, money isn't even a thing, a reality. It's just a representation of energy. And so the real power, this is the concept behind free energy, is that it's a continual motion, right? And so once you get it going, it continues to produce energy, right? And this is the energy of 2019, is that we got to get the ball rolling. We got to get some energy flowing. We got to, giving and receiving and moving energy can create abundance on all levels for us. And so that it doesn't have, if it kind of brings forward this energy of like holding on, we've been so holding on because we've been living in such poverty consciousness. And so this energy is kind of like, let it flow, right? Like watch your overgiving and overspending if that's been a pattern, if you've got a lot of Taurus in your chart or something. But for the most part, we want to move this energy, the energy of exchange is what brings the abundance, right? So I think this kind of translates also emotionally and spiritually. We've all been so kind of holed up and trying to just make it through and trying to figure out how to get through these intense times. And now this year is a year to go out and put some ideas and energy out there and receive from other people as well, right? We got to get the flow going. We got to reconnect, and we got to take advantage of this abundance energy because we need it right now. Really good, cool kind of messages though around this being this completion year, the year of the pig, before we move into that 2020 astrology. And maybe it's speaking to a reset. Maybe a financial global reset, especially with that Uranus and Taurus, or a reset around our poverty consciousness. They kind of go together, right? We've been trapped into this addiction and programming around lack, and money is like it's not even a thing, right? It doesn't even actually exist. Our money is just printed. When we need more, it's just printed, right? And it's become this runaway train that has taken over our reality to the point where so many people are just living every moment trying to survive and pay their bills, and and it's like we've got to shift out of this, right? Because the new age that we know we're moving into is more fair, it's more positive, and it's not based on poverty consciousness. Right? So this 2019 is like individually and collectively a really powerful time to shift all of our loyalties to the poverty energy, our own poverty contracts from past lives, And I found this too, like when there's other people that or in your community or your family, and if you feel like, oh, I have this opportunity to move out of this energy, and I can see that this work I've been doing to change my consciousness around this is working, but then it's almost like a guilt feeling, like you're leaving people behind, and it is an energy right now, like how can you be in your abundance when other people are suffering in poverty, right? And we need a massive shift on this level, and that is the energy of 2019 is, and kind of a good omen in preparation for 2020. And 2020 doesn't have to be traumatic kind of hammer coming down of reality in our lives. It can be a harmonious transition to something more positive. So, there's this energy of generosity and abundance, and gosh, could we use this, right? Like everybody's just holding on so much to what they have in this survival mode. And so charity is big, and kind of energy for the greater good and resources for the greater good is an energy of the year of the pig. And because it's in that earth sign, or that earth energy, it's that material wealth and abundance. So it's a good year to build material wealth. Especially with Saturn, it's an interesting combination because it really speaks also to Saturn in Capricorn, where Saturn has this energy of like, if you're going to work hard and really stick to it, then you're going to get, this is really going to pay off. Hard work can pay off. And so with that, and Uranus bringing new kind of awakening and disruptive energy into the structures of poverty consciousness and our financial systems, together they could be really magic for us individually, for sure. And so it's a feeling of like, I want to share what I have, and it's so much in alignment with the Aquarian age, where we're moving into this time where we're taking care of everybody, you know. And Rudolf Steiner talked about this, how as we evolve and grow in our consciousness, we're becoming more and more empathic, right? And some of us are already there, right? Where you can just feel what other people feel. But this is going to be happening on a global scale. And we just can't go on having people suffer and not do anything about it. We can't, you know, we're going to feel it in our very own body, what the other souls are feeling. And this is part of the uncomfortable energy that we've been encountering, because the empathic abilities are starting to just really activate, and it's creating, this is a big part, if you've been stuck in lower energies and struggling with dark feelings, that's probably because, you know, part of the reason, it might be loyalty contracts to groups of people, that you don't want to leave them behind in lower energies, but it also could be just that you're so sensitive to collective energies, you know, and that can be helped by doing the karmic work and also learning about psychic boundaries and being able to hold your space. It's going to be more and more important, because things are probably not going to get a lot lighter until they get darker first. You know, we're in the healing crisis of the changes that need to happen. We can't, there's no way around it. There's a mountain in front of us, and it's a mountain of the old that's not moving, that won't adjust to the new, and we're kind of carving away at it, and it's been long, hard work. And but as you do that work and you start that excavation, you're going to find, that's when you're going to find this stuff that's been hidden come to the surface, right? It's a cleansing reaction. And we're in this period of time, we're in the healing crisis, because for a true healing to occur in the physical body or emotionally, spiritually, in the universe, anything, you've got to go backwards through. You've got to undo the patterns, right? You've got, and you typically will get the symptoms, you know, when you're all suppressed and you're just moving along in life, you might not necessarily notice the symptoms so much. But once you start the healing, then the symptoms come up, right? And it's an expression of what's been suppressed. And that's where we're at right now, you know, and it's like, that's why the world is so ugly on the surface, but it's really because there's deep healing that's trying to happen. So it's an interesting year of this abundance, this charity energy, this financial wealth trying to land, but at the same time, a healing crisis of all of the nasty, dark stuff out of our collective psyche is also showing itself. And so a really important year to practice those psychic boundaries and get a handle on how sensitive you are. This is a gift, but it becomes a curse if you don't know how to deal with it. And this is what I teach in my classes. So there are tools to help deal with how sensitive you are. And we don't want to shut it down, because it's actually this beautiful wealth, right? I mean, that's kind of this interesting energy of this, the pig and the abundance and the wealth that we're really receiving. You know, we might see some physical wealth and abundance in financially, but really the true wealth that we have is our inner resources. You know, because you stack that money up, but you don't get to take it with you, right? Like, that stuff does not go with you. What goes with you into your next life and as your soul evolution is your spiritual gifts of what you've learned, how you've grown, and your talents and abilities, right? And so a lot of souls are really cut off from, light worker souls are cut off from these talents and abilities because they might have been traumatized by them in a past life, like targeted for them or persecuted or killed or something. And so then you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm never going to do that again. Except for, like, that's who you are and you can't get rid of it, right? Like, once, say an example of, like, people who are really good leaders and managers, right? And a lot of times that creates there's a resistance because, of course, it comes with karmic responsibility, right? And then maybe in the past you were exercising those gifts and then didn't go so well, so you're like, I'm never going to do that again. But it's like, that's actually a part of you. You can't get rid of it. Once you've learned, and as a soul, how to manage and be a leader, like, you can't get rid of it. And it's going to be kind of inside of you, eating at you until you start to express your gifts, right? So this is a lot of what's going on for us on the esoteric level, is in this abundance energy, is landing our inner resources, really the only wealth we have, right? It's the only wealth we have, and yet we're living in poverty consciousness, rejecting these gifts, you know, because we're kind of scared of them, or we've been programmed to think we can't handle our power or something. So a big year for landing home, incarnating, and landing home your gifts and skills and who you really are and starting to use them. And then life totally changes, right? Once you're on the path and stepping forward, and this is part of the energy of 2019. It's like the mountain goat energy, the Capricorn, just one step in front of the other. You just got to keep working, take care of yourself in a profound way with that North Node in Cancer, but just keep at it. Don't give up. Don't listen to those energies. Just keep at it, because it's going to pay off and it's going to be beautiful, and you might as well. What else are we going to do while we wait around for the intense 2020, right? We might as well prepare and just keep focused, even if we don't know exactly where we're going or what we do. Because if you can't land your gifts and you've rejected these parts of yourself, then how can you fulfill your life purpose, right? So you've got to land these gifts, but sometimes just starting down a path, even if it ends up being the wrong path or there needs to be an adjustment, but just baby steps. It's like you can't get the adjustment till you start something, right? And this year, it's important to just keep moving forward on your dreams and visions, and opening up to this energy of abundance to allow those to begin to land. And so a lot of people getting great information and connection to who they really are, and incarnating these gifts, and then, feeling like they can really get on their true path and get somewhere, right? So even though we're still in some mucky-muck transition, healing, crisis energy this year, at least it's going to be feeling like, oh, wait, maybe I'm getting somewhere, right? That's kind of the energy of this year. The pig is having it show itself in this reality, the hard work that you've been doing. So the year of the pig is a great year for social functions and reunions and coming together and celebrating. It's a great time to make a home, to move to your ideal home. It's a good year for real estate. It's a good year for then unions and marriages and partnerships and commitment, building a home. And so it's a good year for kind of getting grounded out, which is perfect for Uranus moving into Taurus, right? And getting a handle on our new reality, and kind of getting our ducks in a row and sorted out in this physical reality so we can fly, right? Because pigs do fly. That's kind of what we're doing this year. We need to take this abundance energy and we need to allow it to move us. Just shoot us into the new paradigm, right? Into the 2020 astrology, and through that portal into the new paradigm, and fly with this abundance energy. Own it. Receive the energetic reset, and release these old patternings that are keeping you limited and stuck. So great year for celebrations. Of course, you want to be careful then of excess and over the top celebrating, and food and those kinds of things, like that Taurus energy. The year of the pig has a lot to do with sensual comforts and, having what you need, and it can lead to overspending, over celebrating, overeating, over drinking, right? So the thing about the pig is that people who are born in the year of the pig often have trust issues, and this is interesting because they're so giving, and it's about this charity energy, and they want to share what they have, right? But that tends to attract in the lower paradigm the wrong type of energies, right? And so then they are victims of maybe manipulation or betrayal, and this is a really common story for the relatively naive light worker soul in the depths of the dark ages. And so these issues are coming up for people. Can I trust you? And seeking out people that they can trust. This is good, because it means a good year for us to find our soul group, to connect with our soul team. And that also is empowering us on our path, because you might only have one little piece of the puzzle of this bigger quest, this bigger project. And say it's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and there's all of you wanting to work on this together, but you only have this one piece, and you have no access to the picture, right? So how are you going to know what this bigger project is? So the landing home that's trying to happen of our dreams and our visions and our new reality is all tied up in our ability to connect with the key people. And there's so much programming keeping us from that, right? Because if you're scared of your own power, and then your soulmates have that level of power, access to power too, then the two of you are going to be way more of a target, right? And so there's all this programming. Say you were kind of leading the way with your soul group in the lifetime, and then, you know, not only did you get persecuted or tortured or killed, then other people did too. So you're like, well, I would never do that to them again, so it's better I just stay away from my people. And we can't do this anymore. We can't let these old stories, you know, keep us from finding each other and getting to work on what we're here to do. So many times in the past, you know, sometimes you incarnated once in a while with your soul group, but a lot of times your soul group was incarnated at the same time on the planet, but all over the place, right? And now it's time to come together in 3D, find each other, and actually work together. Now, with Aries moving into, with Chiron moving into Aries, which happens in February, it's leaving Pisces for good, and it's freedom from those past wounds, you know, from this programming that's keeping us in fear around our self-actualization, because those are just stories, right? And it's actually like, you know, say you were programmed to think that you can't handle your own power, and you're scared of your own power, and so you're going to reject those gifts that have to do with that. Where did you agree to that? You know, like what out there is above you and has more power than you, that you said, okay, yes, I won't receive my power, I won't work with my gifts, I won't actualize, you know, because something really bad could happen, right? And that's the programming because of traumatic things that have happened in the past. It's been a setup for these light worker souls. And there's just this incredible fundamental core level fear energy that comes up, and a lot of people, you know, a lot of these light worker souls aren't generally fearful people, but they've been finding themselves in this low level anxiety that has no explanation. And that's what this is about. It's like you're getting activated by the spiritual energies that are trying to come in through the cosmos into our solar system, and it's triggering this fear. But you gotta realize that those powers, those authority energies that you gave away your power to, and you said, okay, wait, I can't handle my power, you guys better keep it for me. They're lower dimensional from where you came from, right? So you have effectively given over this potent personal power you worked on for many, many evolutions and ascensions and lifetimes. And you said, oh, okay, yeah, I'll let this fear energy control me. And this is where we have to overcome all fear and realize that it's just a concept. You know, we live, nothing ever dies. And so to be programmed to allow ourselves to live from fear, we're never going to be able to come into our potential and have the experience of really living on planet Earth. And so, but Chiron and Pisces took us back through this last retrograde over this last 6 months, took us back through the end degrees of Pisces, and then again, and so we had to really go into these places of woundedness and fear and trauma and programming that might be keeping us from who we are. But now that Chiron is in Aries, Aries is very much empowerment of the self. And it's like, there's nothing in my way, right? Like, I'm not going to buy into that crap anymore, and I'm going to take my power back, and I'm going to be the warrior for myself and for the truth of who I am. And so that's a really good energy, and it comes at a great time while we're trying to have this reset into this abundance energy. So searching for your loyal and trusted friends and opening up to these soulmate meetings, really, really good energy for that this year. Networking is really important. It's kind of like that energy of exchange that we talked about. You know, if you want the abundance to flow, you got to kind of move the energy, right? Get that kind of giving and receiving and exchange energy going on. And the same thing in your circles of people, right? You got to kind of, we have to take advantage of this pig energy and start to move the energy. And even if it doesn't end up being the right people or the right situation, you know, at least you're kind of moving that energy. And so it's this kind of quest and search for these loyal friends, people you can really trust. This is the deal with soulmates. Like when you find your true people, you can trust them right away. you know, and it's not like that. Wait, is this person going to manipulate me? Do they just want to feed on my energy? Do they just want to use what I have and not have anything to offer? This is a story that's played out a bunch for these light worker souls and narcissist empath relationships. So, but this is a good year to move out beyond that and learn to trust again and invite in these soul groups. So great year for love and coming into a deeper trust and intimacy. So relationships can have a deepening. You know, you could also meet your soulmate and have a deepening of intimacy in general in your life. And so that whole energy of settling down and real estate and leaps forward in relationships. And I think that that has to do with that energy of trust. So a really powerful year of abundance ahead for us, and an opportunity to come into our true power, our true abundance, and reset our vibration and be ready for whatever in the heck this epic astrology has in store for us in 2020. So it's your preparation to be on board, to make the most of the energies that are available to us. And so I look forward to checking in with you throughout the year on this incredible journey together. So thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.